Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith and welcome to my view from the 40. Can you believe it? Tick, tick, tick. Yeah, we're almost at game time. Tonight, the CFL season kicks off its 2017 campaign and I am so excited. The Montreal Alouettes Saskatchewan Roughrider game is going to be fantastic. So just a quick intro. I love the CFL. I have for all of my life and I'm going to be here with you all season long talking to you about the CFL. Normally, I cover Red Blacks games and I do my view from the 40, but this year, we're going to expand it. We're going to talk all things CFL. So if you want to reach out, by all means, feel free. Now, a couple of things that I want to get off my chest right away. It seems when you look at the experts, they're predicting right now Calgary going back to the Grey Cup and winning the Grey Cup this year. I say nay, nay. I say that Calgary's got a fantastic team and they proved that last year, pretty much dominating every game they were in except for the one that mattered the most. And of course, they're going to be coming in to this season with revenge on their mind. Having revenge on your mind is all well and good, but there's another team in the West that I think is going to come through the West, and I'm making my bold prediction right now that the BC Lions will represent the Western Division in the Grey Cup. Now, for those of you who know me, you're going to say, yeah, Keith, that's not really a bold prediction. You love BC. Fair, I do. But let me back it up. Exhibit A, Wally Buono. With all due respect to the other 8, Wally Buono, in my opinion, is the best coach in the CFL. He is, to put it in Star Wars terms, the Yoda of the CFL. The man is an absolute genius. Is he perfect? No one's perfect. But he executes better than most. And the way that his players and the team revolve around him and just have so much respect for him, when you're playing for a coach that you respect that much, you want to step up. And let's not forget, on offense, you've got Jonathan Jennings, an amazing quarterback in his own right, with 2 fantastic receivers. Manny Arsenault, yes, the Manny Show is back, and Chris Williams. Defensive backs, who do you double team? Good luck with that. And on the defense, oh, you know him, you love him. Your former defensive player and most outstanding player of the year, Solomon Elimimian, is back. And let me tell you something. The man is not to be trifled with. Now, over in the East, because I'm wearing this, it would be so easy to say Ottawa is going to go back to the Grey Cup. And they very well might. But there are so many challenges. And the biggest challenge is the fact that it's not a surprise anymore. Ottawa's a great team. The first year they came in, people were like, okay, it's Ottawa, whatever. The second year they went to the Grey Cup and people took notice. Now they've won the Grey Cup. This is a fantastic organization in Ottawa. And I think Ottawa has a very strong chance of getting to the big game. However, there are 2 other teams in the East that could stand in their way. One being Hamilton and the other being Montreal. So, bold prediction in the East is, I really have no idea. I feel very confident about BC coming out of the West, but the biggest challenge to Ottawa, it isn't Trevor Harris. I know there are people who are on the fence on Trevor Harris and whether he can win the big game and all this nonsense. No. It has to do with whether or not Ottawa is going to be able to deal with winning and starting over from an even keel and going and doing it again. The East, I think, will definitely be a tight race. I think both divisions, quite frankly, will be a tight race, but I can't call the East, so I'm not just going to shout out a team just to shout it out. But let's talk about the 4 games that we've got going on this weekend. Tonight is so interesting because you've got Darian Durant, a guy who was plagued by injuries over the last few seasons with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, cut by the Saskatchewan Roughriders, now with the Montreal Alouettes, playing the Saskatchewan Roughriders in Montreal. So, quick prediction on this one. I think this is going to be a fantastic game, and this is the ultimate opportunity for Darian Durant to have a big "I told you so" moment. But on the other side of the field, wouldn't you know the quarterback for Saskatchewan is Kevin Glenn? Now, if you don't know about Kevin Glenn, let me give you a little 411 on this gentleman. He has touched every team in the CFL, and when I say that, this is what I mean. He has played for Winnipeg, Hamilton, Calgary, BC, Saskatchewan, Montreal, playing for Saskatchewan tonight, and he had his rights owned by Ottawa, Toronto, and Edmonton. So what that basically means is, what do you mean he had his rights owned? What that means is, so for example, in Ottawa, when Ottawa had their draft, they chose Kevin Glenn as their quarterback, but then they were able to get Henry Burris, so they traded him. So for a while, he was a Red Black. But at the end of the day, he's touched every team. This is going to be a phenomenal game. Great way to start the season. 2 teams who didn't have the best 2016s who are going to have a lot to prove. Tomorrow night, the reigning, defending Grey Cup champions will be hosting their opponents from last year's Grey Cup per CFL tradition, the Grey Cup rematch in the Calgary Stampeders. This is going to be a very interesting game because because Trevor Harris right off the bat is going to need to prove, hey, Henry Burris was great and he's gone, and I understand that I'm the leader. I need to step up and be a leader. But on the other side of the ball, you've got a team that is so angry that they didn't win the Grey Cup and they're coming here for revenge. I expect a very, very interesting affair. I think it's going to be a shootout, quite frankly, and I'm looking forward to that. Then let's go to the weekend. Oh my goodness. What are you doing Saturday night? Halle Berry, I gotta take a rain check because I got plans. The BC Lions and the Edmonton Eskimos. It's kind of like a potential preview of the Western Final in week 1. Two fantastic teams trying to get the season off to the right foot. I am so excited for this game. You are going to see an aerial assault. There are so many fantastic players in this. You've got a Darius Bowman. You've got Manny Arsenault, who I mentioned before. This is going to be a CFL fan's dream, and I cannot wait for this game. And then, not to be outdone, how about the Battle of Ontario, or one of the Battles of Ontario, whereas the Hamilton Tiger Cats take on the Toronto Argonauts. Nobody seems to be giving Toronto a chance this year. They all think, no, it's not going to happen. And I know there's been some issues in the front office, but on the field, Ricky Ray's back. But you know who else is back? A very angry Zach Collaros who wants to prove that Hamilton is still a force to be reckoned with. Now, unfortunately, I will not be at the Red Blacks game tomorrow night. I have other commitments, so I won't be able to make it. And I was sad about that. You know, I got even more sad when I found out that Milt Stegall is going to be in town. Now, if you're not familiar with Milt Stegall, a lot of people will tell you he's my brother from another mother because it's very rare to find two people this handsome. So if you see Milt Stegall in TD Place tomorrow, feel free to go up and say, hey, Keith. Oh, sorry, hey, Milt. He loves it when you do that. Ladies and gentlemen, the CFL season is here. I want to hear your predictions. Who do you think is going to be in the Grey Cup this year? Let me know. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WhittyWhittier and WhittyWhittier.com. Thank you so much for checking this out. I will see you throughout the season. My name is Keith, and that's my view from the 40.